All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions football, man. Crazy sport, 33-28 road victory for the Detroit Lions, who are now sitting at 9-3 here, folks. Dan Campbell said it this past week, and after the first quarter, where the Lions were up 21-0, I was sitting here thinking to myself, are we about to get a four-quarter game where the Detroit Lions just obliterate their opponent? Well, no, that's not quite how it happened. They got outscored by the Saints. Derek Carr, famous Jameis, Taysom Hill, 21-9 in the second half. But hey, every team faces adversity, and I'm going to take the win. I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I'm going to take the win. I love the way the Detroit Lions looked in the first quarter, but I do just want to say this. You know, they're 9-3. We still have we've got 5 games of football left. And I'm just glad that this is hitting Detroit and that they're winning football games at the same time. Like, I watch the Detroit Lions play this afternoon, and I'm thinking very clearly to myself, the Lions are much better than the New Orleans Saints here. But, you know, after the first quarter, it's just kind of weird. You know, it wasn't perfect. They put up 33 points, but like, I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying here. It just wasn't what I wanted to see. However, like we just mentioned, I would rather have this team kind of finally figure everything out by the end of the season, as opposed to especially the beginning of the season or even right now, because there's plenty of football to be played left. And yeah, guys, the Detroit Lions are 9-3. All right, I don't think there's too many Lions fans complaining about this victory here. I would take the NFC North title and a playoff game victory. That's something, me personally, I would take. We have to zoom out really quickly and remember, you know, Detroit at this time last season, they finally started to get those wins, but they started last year 1-6. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. But guys, before we get into tonight's video, if you enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub up for daily NFL content. Lions fans, if you could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So, you know, you're on a really short week. Last Thanksgiving, last Thursday, and these guys were just gassed. They're very tired. It's just a long NFL season in general, but especially on that short of a week, that short of a turnaround. So we talked about it all week on this channel. I wanted to just see a victory. I didn't really care about the context of it. I didn't care if it was going to be sloppy. I didn't care, by sloppy, I don't mean like 4+ turnovers. But, if they have to just really grind it out physically, get that victory, that's something I would take, because, I don't want the Lions to go on a little losing streak here. Not that losing 2 straight games would sound the alarm bell, but you guys get what I'm saying here. Like, I just wanted a bounce back victory, right? The last time we saw Detroit lose a game was to the Baltimore Ravens, which, feels like a very long time ago. And they won the upcoming Monday night game at home against the Las Vegas Raiders, 26-14. And, with context, the Raiders are the Raiders this season. But like, we're not sitting here, 6 weeks later saying, oh man, I really wish they blew out the Las Vegas Raiders. We're sitting here thinking, first off, that game very easily could have been a blowout, but like, a win is a win. So let's look at this afternoon's game here. 21 unanswered points in the first quarter. And as a non-big Derek Carr fan, I started covering the Raiders when I first started covering football over a year ago. I just never was a huge Derek Carr fan. Derek ends up getting injured. Famous Jameis comes in, and I'm just sitting here watching this fourth quarter, the third quarter included, and I'm thinking, boys, like, the offense either has to put up a touchdown on the board or somebody's got to step up defensively. But a win is a win. We're just going to keep saying it. So at the end of the day, only 213 passing yards for the Detroit Lions. The second half, pretty much like time of possession, was just completely controlled by the New Orleans Saints. The Lions were struggling to move the chains. The Saints were just having 13 plays, 87 yards, taking a ton of time off of the clock. So not too many opportunities in the second half for the Detroit Lions. But hey, the defense stepped up when they needed to, and also the offense got first downs when they needed to. So Detroit, at the end of the day, 347 total yards. But if we look back at the last couple of weeks, especially with Jared Goff, the most important stat line for me this afternoon was 0 turnovers. The Detroit Lions had 0 turnovers. Jared Goff threw 0 interceptions. He had 0 fumbles. Their offense, it was fine. All right. So that's good, because if we look at it from this standpoint and we say, once again, outside of the first quarter, the Detroit Lions offensively were not great, and they still put up 33 points. All right, so you have an offensive week and you are putting up 33 points. That's something I am going to take. So Jared, at the end of the day, 16 to 25, only 213 passing yards. However, he did have 2 touchdowns and most importantly, 0 interceptions. David Montgomery, 18 carries, 56 yards and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with only 8 carries. He had a total of 60 yards, which is 7.5 yards per carry, including that long 36. I just want to see him more involved. I get it, man. Demont is a stud in and of himself in his own right, but I want to see more of my dynamic playmaker, Jahmyr Gibbs, that I selected in the first round. But that time will come. Ben Johnson is still learning how to, and the Detroit Lions offense is still learning how to incorporate both of these players, especially when they're both on the field. One thing I absolutely loved, I think the commentator, I forget who the commentators were for this game, shot out of a cannon, Jameson Williams. Now, Jameson, it pretty much is his rookie season because he only played 6 games last year and he saw very, very low snap counts due to his injury in college. Only 1 catch for 11 yards. But when Jameson Williams gets the football, I feel like good things happen. Whether it's a 30-plus yard touchdown pass, whether it is a run like this afternoon, when the ball's in Jameson Williams' hands, a good thing happens. All right, so he had a 19-yard rushing touchdown, and that dude is so unbelievably fast. It's not even funny. But the big storyline of this afternoon is going to be Sam Laporta. I am so glad I ended up trading TJ Hockenson in fantasy football to give my man Sam Laporta TE1 role. Career day this afternoon. 9 catches, 9 targets, 140 yards, and a touchdown. He can block. He can catch. His IQ is great. I remember reading up on stuff in training camp, the first couple of games of preseason and thinking this dude's going to have a huge ass impact in his rookie season. And that's exactly what we're seeing, folks. Sam Laporta is the real freaking deal. And the long-term outlook on this guy is absolutely beautiful. All of their rookies, to be quite honest with you, but 9 catches, 140 yards and a touchdown. He's had a phenomenal rookie season, but this game just certainly was something special because outside of that, the only player with more than 1 catch was Amon-Ra St. Brown, who saw 6 targets, but only 2 catches for 49 yards. He did have that touchdown. But let's talk a little bit about this defense. These young cats, man, I still want to see more pressures on the quarterback. Only 2 total sacks this afternoon for this team. Bruce Irving, recent addition, 36-year-old, still kicking it, still doing his thing. He had a nice sack earlier in the game. But Brian Branch, the other rookie, this is so important because you're missing guys like Emmanuel Mosley, CJ Gardner-Johnson. So guys just need to step up, but specifically in that secondary. Brian Branch had a great game this afternoon, 7 total tackles, and that interception that he caught with 1 freaking hand. So defensively, they're still learning, not learning defense. It's not how I want to phrase that, but they're still improving. All right. They're still learning. They're still learning how to win. And for a team that's still learning how to win, that actually wins, I'm going to take it. So we'll talk more about this game as the week goes on. But if you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Let me know your thoughts on today's game, and we will see you next time.